What's going on everyone, Ollelito back here with another Tuesday tutorial, and in today's video guys, I will be teaching you guys and giving my kind of secret 5 pro tips, what I think about Weekly League. Small tips that could give you that kind of extra edge and maybe get you 2 to 3 extra wins in today's video. So 5 different tips to get more wins in Weekend League. But before we jump into the video, I see that 70% of you guys are not subscribing, so make sure to subscribe before we jump into today's video. That would mean a lot. So as you see in the background, we're currently 10-0 with our actually Team of the Season Road to Glory that we started up 2 weeks ago. But it's not going to be about the Road to Glory. It's basically going to be about the team that I'm playing with in the background. Is not the greatest team, but what do I do to achieve the most amount of wins? So my first tip is to not play on Fridays. Why not, Olle, you may ask? Because on Fridays, all of us pro players are always trying to finish our games as quick as we possibly can to get the new reward, to see the new plays that we basically can get in the packs, because obviously the new promos are releasing on Fridays, but also trying to get the maximum coins out of the players. If I finish Weekly League in like 3 hours, exactly when the Weekly League starts, I will be able to get these Team of the Seasons that are maybe hard to get for a lot of coins. They are obviously worth more when they've only been out in the store for 3 hours. So that's basically tip number 1. Save your games until the later stages. Play on Sunday, play on Monday, and even sometimes play on Tuesdays. Even though Tuesdays sometimes can be a bit hard because you have a lot of people playing on others accounts on the last day, which is the Tuesday. So I would advise you guys to play in between Sunday and Monday, and that would definitely get you more wins in this game and also easier matchmaking. So the second tip to actually also become a better player, and that will actually get you to achieve more wins, is to add the preset competitive. I think most of you guys probably have it on custom. I obviously always have it on competitive, as that's basically what us pro players need to have while we compete. That will turn on precision shooting, and if you learn how to use precision shooting to the best advantage, at the start it will be hard and it will take a few days, maybe a week or 2 to get used to, but once you get used to it, you will score so many more goals and add one more important thing to your repertoire. And also learn how to use time finishing. If you learn how to use time finishing like a master, you will score, I can tell you, 70, 80, even 90% more of goals inside the box, outside the box, long shots, whatever you're basically taking a shot from. The chances of you green timing a shot, if you manage to do it, they will increase a lot in terms of how big the chances that you will score if you manage to time a shot. So the thing is, if you turn on precision shooting and you learn how to green time, you will be able to score a lot of long shots. Will also be a category that's super important in terms of scoring chances, because you will have games where you will have a very hard time. The gameplay can be slow. We know how the servers are when content is out, or in general, we know how slow the gameplay can be and sluggish. Then you need to have some kind of extra in your backpack to be able to break an opponent down. And this is going to be long shots. So if you look in the background, this is basically like a normal Trivela that I managed to green time far out, and it flies into the back of the net. So I advise you guys, if you haven't seen my tutorial on how you perform Trivelas, make sure to check that one out, as that will definitely help you get more wins, but also win against better players, because a lot of players, they don't really expect people to be able to perform Trivelas like I do in the background here. Green time finish into the back of the net, and that will basically add that kind of extra layer into how you play the game, but also it will make you a lot of a better player in general, because this will make your attack way more fluent, but also way more unpredictable. And that's what we're looking for. We're trying to get that unpredictableness. I don't think you say that. We're just trying to get unpredictable. That's what I'm saying in attack, and this will add that a lot of times, because if your opponent is a lot of times just knowing what you will do inside the box in terms of passing, it's very easy for your opponent to defend. But if you add this kind of like extra thing to your, as I said, adding that to your backpack or into your repertoire in terms of playing FC, you will get a lot more wins. Because imagine if I'm here, for example, outside the box, and opponent knows I will play this pass into the box, super easy to read. But for once, if I'm not playing it and I'm green timing a Trivela, and that wasn't even green, but I managed to time it well and also aimed well with precision shooting, and yeah, that will lock up a lot of problems for you and will cause the opponents a lot of trouble. So tip number 3 will be to actually play one of these 3 following formations. Either the 4-4-1 formation. This formation is, in my opinion, the best formation in this year's game, but you also have the 4-2-3-1 formation, which I have here in the background that we will activate. 4-2-3-1, super good formation in this year's game. I think a lot of you guys already know about it, but 4-2-1-3, 4-2-3-1, and 4-4-1-1, you guys need to use these formations. And also, obviously, if you copy my tactics that I posted on my YouTube, you will obviously get some really good tactics, but also some good player roles for the players in terms of how they run, how they move, and how they create space for each other, but also how they defend. Because in the 4-4-1-1, for example, that will be a very compact formation. In the 4-2-1-3, you will look more to basically be a bit more open in defense, because the wingers are not really pushing down and helping in defense. But on the other hand, then that will help you with counter-attacking opportunities opening up, because the wingers are super high up, the striker and the cam is basically super high up as well. So once you get that ball to your cam, you will have a counter-attacking opportunity all the time if you play the 4-2-1-3 formation. So tip number 4 will be something similar, but this will actually make you a lot more unpredictable in how you play, but also will get you that kind of extra wins in both competitive games, but also become a much better player if you learn how to play different formations. So that's basically what we're going to jump into now. If I start with a 4-4-1-1 formation, perfect. If I feel like it's working in a game, perfect. But you need to have a plan B, plan C, sometimes even plan D to be able to be unpredictable in what formation you are using and how you are able to perform it, basically. So I'm starting with a 4-4-1-1. It works perfect in a few games, but once I managed to feel like, okay, I'm not really comfortable in the way I'm playing, my opponent is causing me off guard because he's doing this and that, then that's why I go into team management, because I have a default tactic. I also have a 4-2-3-1 like I showed you guys before that I can just go into, and you just do this by going on the D-pad and pressing towards what formation you want. So for example, if I feel like I can counterattack my opponent more, but I don't really feel like it's working in 4-4-1-1, then I'm just going into this formation, the 4-2-1-3, just equipping it by pressing this one to the side. I will show you in game. And then if I feel like I'm defending super well, but I still want to go a bit more defensive because it's 10 minutes left in the game where I need to just hold out, that's when I can go to the 4-2-3-1 defensive. And that's also why I named it 4-2-3-1 defensive, as that will be my kind of holdout formation, and it will also look to be a bit more a defensive formation, getting a bit more stability in the back, but also a formation that actually helps me to keep the ball under heavy pressure. So at the bottom right of the screen, you see when I'm pressing this kind of button to the left, you will see it comes up default tactic 4-2-1-3 or 4-2-3-1 defensive. So obviously, if I want to go to 4-2-3-1, I just do this. I press that up, you see the players are getting circles around them, which means that we switch formation. This can also be, as I said, when I want to counterattack more, if I want to switch formation, switch some players around, but also if I want to go more defensive, I just press twice towards the left with the arrows, and I manage to get another shape of the team. And yeah, that's going to be super important when you have tougher games and you maybe don't really have a pause left. Super important to already have this preset, and it will definitely help you a lot in-game. So, as you guys see in the background, it's actually going to be a Division Rivals game, but the thing that's going to be the last tip for this video is going to be make sure to analyze your games if you've had a tough week. So, for example, you have a really tough week, you manage to finish 9 wins. You're usually an 11 to 12 win player. But you had a tough week and you feel like, okay, what am I doing wrong? Am I playing the wrong formation, tactics? And you start to overthink. You start to go into pro chat and ask for tactics. That's not the solution, guys. You guys need to be self-critical and put it on yourself. So, the last tip is basically going to be make sure to save your games. The thing you do especially if you on PlayStation 5, the only thing you need to do is to press this button up here at there, go to save recent gameplay, go to full video or to the last 30 minutes, and then you have basically the weekend league game you lost. Try to look back at it, try to see what you done well and try to keep that, but also try to look back and see, okay, what can I do differently in these situations? This is usually what I feel like I'm struggling with around my own box, for example. And once you start to learn what you need to basically perform to do in terms of improving in different kind of scenarios to make you feel more comfortable, then you will start to slowly progress and become better and better and better until you hit that kind of top ceiling, which will easily give you 15-0 if you start to feel comfortable in around the whole pitch, basically, both in attack but also in defense. Yes, guys, thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate you guys. As I said at the start of the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. I would appreciate that loads. And take these 5 tips with you and let me know down in the comments whatever you guys think are some great tips, but also what you guys will get this upcoming weekend and what you're aiming for. That would be super interesting. And then come back to this video and see if you manage to get some extra wins if you use these kind of 5 pro tips. As I said, thank you so much for today, guys. Love you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.